checked out Nick's stuff before, you should do so. He makes some beautiful knife sheaths, if I do say so myself, along with a lot of other cool, really awesome stuff. He makes some really clean, beautiful leather work, and we are excited to have him on. He's also just become a really kind of close-knit part of the Springfield Leather family over the last year or two. So we're excited to watch him grow and to share a little bit in with that. So,
man, you're just juicing me up today. Now I got to look like I know what I'm doing.
Well, it looks like you know what you're doing, so apparently you're faking it quite well.
Hey, got to do it.
All righty, well, let's get started. What are we doing?
Well, I think we should first start with an unboxing.
Ooh. Hey, that's right. There's a box.
Hold on, just...
What's in the box, man?
What's in the box? Come on, Tony.
Hold on, I had to make sure that I got him on the Zoom chat so that it wasn't my desktop or in the Zoom audio instead of just my desktop. So when Abigail sends me a bunch of messages here in a minute, it doesn't get all screwy.
Look, guys, we couldn't open it. It says right here, do not open until 3/8.
It is
3/8. And Nick, I really wanted to open it and then put yellow tape back over the top of it just so you'd get a kick out of it, but we didn't. We didn't do that. Ah! I lost it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get branded tape now so you can't.
Hang on. Sorry, I dropped you.
Jeez, why are you dropping me already?
I don't know. I have weird ear holes. They don't like to hold earbuds in.
What's up, Twitch chat? I see you guys.
I can hear.
I think we had a problem with somebody not being able to hear audio, but I think we got that fixed.
Oh,
yes,
good.
Yes, she's fine.
Oh, do we need to see bigger?
Yeah, we could see the topsy-turvy side if you want to.
All right.
Yeah, don't dox me, though.
I don't know if I've done an unboxing before.
Chef, you're going to have to move all the way over to the side of the screen as I make it bigger. Yeah.
Chevy, I love that you even have Made in USA stickers for your stuff. That's awesome.
I totally didn't repurpose that box.
Oh, no? Yeah, you did. Alrighty. Look at this.
Oh, we got to go get Nick Springfield. And Ryan and Justin is in here.
And Spencer?
And Spencer.
Oh, my goodness. So
it says open that first.
Open this first. Well, Nick, it was under the other things. How are we supposed to open it first? These look like shoes. What is this? Open first.
Open it.
Okay. Okay, we're opening. Oh my gosh, those are gorgeous.
Let's go.
What?
Oh, you're going to have to do some stitching over here while we join along.
You made us make along shoes.
Look at this one.
I didn't want you to be left out.
Nick.
Here, can you hit 2 over there?
Oh my gosh.
Look how cute.
These are amazing. I hope my hand sewing is as good as yours.
All right, you got
Don't
hands.
worry. It's easy peasy.
All right, there's some hand sewing.
Nick.
All right, you can go back to 1.
Thank you.
Now you got all the rest of the goodies to get through.
All right.
Okay, all right. No, I'm
Abigail.
done. This is it. It's over.
Liz.
I got something.
Oh, Denny.
Can I open it? I can already see what it is. Is it a baby shirt?
Is it a baby? Are you trying to tell us something, Abigail?
Okay, I did my research, okay? Blame Tony if it's wrong.
Blame Tony if it's wrong.
We got
Spencer and Nick.
We got shirts.
I'm so excited.
I was right. Kindvall Customs. Look at that. I remembered. And it's blue.
All right. I don't know whose sizes were supposed to be whose or who's supposed to go to who.
I love it. I'm gonna wear it this week.
I wanted to get everybody, at least try to get everybody that has done
Some videos.
of live video throughout the year. So
Aww.
Very cool. We
I
appreciate
should
that.
about everybody.
I think that you did. I think that you did. This is awesome. You're awesome.
All right. Let's see. That's for Denny. All right. Let me make us smaller over there.
Hold
There's
on, you got more
oh.
stuff in
oh,
Nick's like, you're not done.
What? There's more?
But wait.
Oh,
there's
wait.
more.
It's like Christmas morning.
What happened to my scissors?
Oh,
Right
I
here.
see you, Jack Frost. How you doing?
Oh, and then some stickers.
Hi, Justin told us to come get it.
I don't remember what size you were supposed to be. What size shirt do you wear?
Mediums. Yeah.
It's a mug.
Thanks, Chevy.
You're welcome.
It's a mug.
Chevy, was there any particular color that somebody was supposed to have?
I know they can pick.
Okay, that's medium.
Thank you all.
That's a medium. Spencer, what size of shirt are you?
Medium. So jealous. Yeah.
Or looks like this one is a.
I'll send Andy in because he's on Rose duty. So
That was also a medium. So
All right, Nick. Who all gets mugs? Who did you send mugs for?
You got to fight over them.
We got to fight over them. Well, I already claimed one
what's okay? You got yours.
because I'm the mug queen.
thank you.
Yeah.
Say thanks,
Thank-
Nick. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, you can wait.
Come over here and say thanks. Right here. Right here.
Just right in the front.
Right there. Thanks, Nick.
Nick.
You have to take it out of the bag and pull it up so you can see it.
What size?
Just strip for us right now. Censor. Put it on.
Listen, we charge for that on Twitch.
There's
All right.
there's a Spencer works in the strip department.
Oh, Jenny,
Chevy, who did your
That-
artwork?
So
Hey, Denny.
Hello.
that
you guys
ebook
got coffee
with
cups too, the little
the
corn?
hammer and the head knife was done by the same person that did all my emotes on Twitch.
I think you got something.
Shout out to Rose. She doesn't really have like an Instagram to look at, but shout out to Rose for doing that for me. She's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Did all
Rose.
of my corn emotes, and then the art on the mugs in my shirt here was done by the wonderful Babe
Very,
Ross
very
on
cool.
Twitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have to make my own, but look at this.
Nice.
It's gonna have my name on it.
Oh boy.
When did you pick
How fun is that?
How delightful.
I didn't even know what's missing it.
Are you a large or a
Anyways,
medium?
say thanks, Nick.
I think I said
Thank you,
one.
Nick.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
He says you're welcome. He's in my ear.
He's in,
What's up, Danny?
He's in your head.
He says, "What's up?"
All right.
Please look at mine.
Perfect.
Neat.
If somebody can shout out to Chevy,
I will wear
on
this.
There you go.
Twitch.
He's gonna
Let's
wear
see.
your shirt.
Hopefully, I haven't missed any of the other questions on there. What time does the live start? The live starts right now.
We are started.
We're here right now. We're just doing something special.
Oh my gosh, Nick, we're gonna have to make you like the best thank you basket.
Yeah, very cool. So this is
Because
what
we
we
all
have.
know that Tony and I will not be one upped with the stuff.
This is
Although
what-
I don't think that we can top shoes. Shoes are wonderful.
I mean,
Speaking of
you have a
shoes.
Denny right there. I mean, you could just
Right.
box him up and send him.
No, no, sir.
Good job, Airbud.
I claim that.
Okay, let me readjust my window size here to push back up.
Alrighty, well, hopefully everybody loved show and tell
Oh my
for
goodness, I love it.
Springfield Leather.
It's like a corn on the top. Is it a corn guy?
Is it a corn guy?
See the picture.
I
Yeah,
have
look
a
at
whole
him. He's
line
a
of
little
Corn
corn.
of merch.
Oh, there's different ones.
Wow,
Now
what's
we have
that
to
one?
open them and look at all the
Oh,
corn.
it's a corn on
Well,
the tractor.
All right,
Is it
get out of
because
here.
you're in Nebraska?
Be quiet.
What?
All right, so we can get going. We're already 14 minutes into it, so that we can see what's going on. These are the sneaker kits, so we are looking at getting those and stocking them here as well. I sicked Dan on that project to try to get them in here. If you want to get a pair, you can order it straight from Europe or the Chicago Shoe School, something like that has them as well. Just type in sneaker kit in Google and it'll pull up some things. I think Tandy may have them as well. So not to be outdone, we'll see if we can't get it taken care of and get them in-house here so that I can make more shoes for myself. So if you've been on live shopping before, pretty much every leather that I pull up, I'm like, oh, this would be a great shoe. Oh, that would be a great shoe. Oh, that leather would make a great shoe. So here I have finally wrangled somebody in to shoe me. So I'm gonna get Liz is gonna start sewing up on here. I'm gonna watch the chats and watch Chevy get working on it. I'm probably gonna call him Chevy instead of Nick.
Okay. I will say I was gonna sew along with Liz,
Okay.
so that's what we're gonna do Friday.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
So we'll do a little sewing on
I
Friday.
like it. Okay.
You put that back away. So as you talk, I'm gonna zoom in on this shoe that we already have done. It's an Italian veg that's green that Liz and I say
We've been hoarding.
We have the only pieces of it, and now Chevy has some other pieces of it. So here's how it worked out, and I did the best I could to keep it a secret from Liz. I was like, what do you think about this leather for a shoe? I was like, oh, they're white soles, so I need something white. So I found this white hippo, and I was like, do you think this would work? And she's like, oh, I would be so jealous. And I was like, perfect. So Nick took care of it and got this done. And so you probably had an idea that something was coming when you figured out it was a gift, that it might have been shoes. But you probably just
But I didn't open the box.
You didn't know what leather it was going to be either. So awesome.
Okay.
Did you see your name is even on there, so nobody else can have it?
Ooh. That's one of the coolest parts. And your name is also on it.
So let me get this switched over here, and we'll start talking about the pattern. Boom. So I came prepared today. I have all of my notes so we don't get lost. But the pattern itself is pretty straightforward. Really, it's just two pieces. You have a tongue piece and your main body piece here. Uh-oh. Are we got audio?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. So the kit itself, you don't get the pattern with. You print the pattern separately, but this is the kit. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a pair of soles with the insoles, and then a bag of thread and a needle. So that's the kit.
That's so easy.
And Sneaker Kit has these patterns available on their website. So you just look up sneakerkit.com. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then you print them off to the size that you bought the soles in. And they have a few different variations. Like they have a sandal. They have like a mock toe variation. But this is just the normal sneaker pattern. So here's the first pair that I made. I did the high top cut. So when you get this pattern, you'll be able to choose from how high you want the ankle. So you have a low, a medium, and a high cut. So here's what the high cuts look like. And then Liz has the low cut. And I'm making the low cut for Tony as well. So make sure you print the pattern out correctly. It's important because you have to have all these holes line up with the sole, or else you'll have a hard time sewing later. And it gives you a test line on the pattern itself, so you can measure it and make sure you're printing it accurately. But other than that, the pattern is very basic, and you can gussy it up however you want. I do kind of this like trim piece here. And it's pretty just a basic outline. I like to go a little thicker where the eyelets are, and then just kind of blend it in and around and create like a little trim piece that will just go right on top. So that's just a way to fancy it up rather than it just being a solid piece.
So even if you took your pattern that you have there, Chevy, and you cut those parts and even sectioned them off, you can change up your pattern just a little bit more. And those come from the Sneaker Kit site?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just have a like a Google Docs download
Hmm.
with all the sizes. The biggest thing is just make sure you get your holes on your pattern correctly. But if if you wanted to piece this thing together with different leathers, it's your canvas.
So on the soles come in the white, and they also come in black. And is there like the brown kind of gummy?
Yeah, I got the brown.
Ah, gotcha.
So yeah, 3 colors. We're gonna do the black today for you, and then I did the white for Liz. So here is my pieces. And this is just going to be for one shoe here. Obviously, you have 2 feet, I hope.
Yes, I
And you
currently
know
have
what?
2 feet.
If you don't, that's okay too.
Just give it to your friend. They'll like it. So pretty much I have 4 pieces for this. You got the main body, which I showed you. I cut this out of about a 4 to 5 ounce ish.
Ooh, look at you marking your pieces with the foot that it goes with after you get them all cut out.
And if you don't and forget, when you cut out the pattern, it gives you this little notch right here.
Mm-hmm.
That'll tell you which side the shoe is. And that also tells you where you start stitching later.
Oh, that's handy.
So it's kind of multi-purposed. So there's the main body. Then I have a trim piece, which I made myself. You can do whatever you want with this. And then you have the toe piece. And I just used the same leather as the main body piece. You could definitely do like an exotic leather or whatever you want. Just kind of stay within a certain range of thickness. On the first pair that I made, I lined like the toe cap here with some veg tan to give it a little bit more body. With yours and this one, I'm just going to do with a single piece. It worked good. So there's those 3 pieces. And then to further advance this pattern, we're going to do a lining. So you just need a pretty thin, ideally soft leather. This is pretty sure it's like a goat, just a black goat. I had some acid washed green looking stuff sitting around for your shoes. So
I know. I see it. It's awesome.
So yeah, and that's pretty much it for the pieces. And cut all those out. It's nothing difficult there. This entire project is super simple to do. Like you don't need any special tools. You basically just need your, a knife, glue, stitching supplies, pretty basic stuff. I will say, if you're going to do a trim piece, there is some skiving that you need to do. Because I'm doing this a little bit more advanced than my first shoe attempt. I'm rolling these edges. So skiving is going to be important. And another note to keep in mind, your eyelets that you put on here need to be able to fit the thickness of leather that you're using. So when you start stacking up pieces of leather here, you're going to have a lining, you're going to have this main body, you're going to have a piece of trim on top that's folded over. You want to make sure that this is going to be a thickness that will work. I almost ran into that problem on my first pair, but I was able to muscle those eyelets closed. And that's the part that's really scary because it's at the very end of the project. So
everything's already done.
That's not the time.
Oh man.
All right, so let's just get marking our patterns here. So a couple of the marks that I want to do, I'll move my granite out of the way so we can lay this flat.
Question, yes, we are looking at getting these. Dan is researching to get them.
All right, so we have the main body here. Since I'm doing a trim, I'm going to need to mark a line where my trim goes. And I've been using those handy silver pens.
Oh yes, they're very nice.
Some leather, it's hard to see, like, and it like doesn't want to write on it. But this leather right here, this is some SB foot. It writes really well. And you want to be very precise with this part because you can't really like trim the lining once you put it on here. So you want to put it on here pretty straight.
So if somebody were doing this and they're using this this piece and they want to roll that edge, do they have to add to that pattern, or is there another pattern for your actual part? Because that's just your outline of where it goes.
I just printed out 2 of the main body pieces and sketched on, like here, you can see I sketched on my trim.
Oh, yep.
And then I just made a copy of it and cut out the trim.
Okay.
And, you know, if you want to make different shapes or whatever, again, it's your canvas.
Add a swoosh.
Yeah. Don't say that too loud.
Probably not add a swoosh.
Add a swish.
Yeah, a swish instead of a swoosh. Yeah, you can find these a lot of different places. But you know, we've talked about it a little bit before about what are we doing for our customers, and Abigail, who takes care of the newsletter, customer contact, whatever you want to call it. Last week, yeah, not this Sunday, the Sunday before, we had a customer spotlight, moved it to the top of the newsletter. So what else could we really do for it? And we've had a few guests here and there. Our first quarter guest that we were thinking about having wasn't able to get here. So we wanted to try something else, and it's been a little while since we've had another guest on. I think the last guest that we had was
We had Shelton and then
Brandon Shelton, and then cooking bin that we did an apron for him.
whey bread. We miss whey bread.
Yeah.
Oh no, Chevy, I think you froze.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, we're
Oop. Hello.
We can hear you.
What happened? Why is my, hold on.
The internet is broken.
I think it's my camera. Okay, maybe
Cameras.
we'll try it again. Hang on.
When ordering the sole size, is it men's size? It's European size. So you order, if you look on the tongue of your shoes that you currently wear, there'll be an EU size on it. And does that one have it?
39.
Yeah, and I think the other ones that you had on said 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So on the inside of these Adidas that I have on, I have
I mean, if my shoes are already off.
mine's an
You can put it on.
FR 43 and a third. But most of it should correspond to some European sizing. And that's how you pick your size for it.
This line right here isn't super important. It's mainly a glue line. It's okay if you go over it. But I will say with this trim piece, since I'm rolling it, I added on about a ½ inch to roll over.
I retired Leathercraft. You have to get taller socks.
I'm going to get shorter socks.
Oh.
Or taller ones, I guess.
Whichever way you like. Will these videos be archived for later on YouTube and on Facebook?
They fit.
So they will be. They will
That's-
be archived there.
My toe's right here, guys.
I can see the pull. I can see the pull up.
Sorry, I'm gonna get a cramp in my hip here
really
because
glad
I'm
they-
old.
Yeah. It's a good thing you're not growing anymore.
Yeah,
So-
no, I'm done with that.
Here is how I did the first pair. I didn't roll the edges. I just kind of just glued the trim on top and finished the edges. And it turned out pretty clean. But this is taking it to the next level. So you will have to add about a 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch to roll over. And that's the part you need to skive. So I like to skive even a little bit over the main trim part, just so you make sure you have plenty of room to roll it. Okay, now skiving. We got that. I also like to skive this straightaway here where the eyelets go, on both sides, so you won't get super bulky. So I've already skived the top of this here. Then I also decided to skive the bottom here. So when you're sewing the shoe together, where the top of the heel meets this part, it transitions more smoothly instead of having a big bump be right on the heel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the two areas you need to skive on the trim piece. And then the only other area to skive is the lace part. So I'm going to go right behind me here. Switch over. Oop, that's a song.
Chevy, do you skive by hand or do you have a bell knife?
No, I cheat.
It's got an MP10.
So
That's not cheating.
Mark,
That's
do it.
efficiently skiving.
what's that?
I said that's not cheating. That's efficiently skiving.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I needed to grab a little test piece because I was doing other skiving.
Because we always test first
That's
with
right.
bell knives. Always, always, always.
How much did I skive on here? Oh, no.
So, Nick, can you talk while you're doing that?
Sure.
How long have you been doing leathercraft? You don't have to talk about what you're doing. You're just skiving.
Well, I will say with the skive, I do it about yay much.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the portion where the eyelets are. So just make sure you got it covered. All right, what's your question? Okay.
How long have you been leathercrafting?
To my knowledge, I think it's been since 2014.
So about a decade now. Getting there.
I just had my 1 year anniversary. Or my, oh gosh, it'd be 9 years.
Yeah.
I was like, what year?
1 or 9, whichever.
1 year.
Math is for other people.
All right. So this is all the skiving you need to do. You can do this by hand. It's ideally doing something like this, especially with the trim. The trim piece, you're gonna want a skiver or a bell knife. And I will say, exotics are scary to skive, so make sure you're dialed in. The main thing to look out for is holes and thin spots because exotic leather isn't smooth like cow is. So if you're skiving to one thickness, it might be okay in one part, and then you'll get to a little bump where there's a wrinkle, and then you'll go through it.
Those
So-
darn fat wrinkles.
You can actually see where that actually happened.
More
It's
toward
just
your keyboard. There you go.
There's just a little hole right there. And I'm not too concerned about that because that'll roll over. All right. I think we can get to installing the trim. So we got our glue lines. I like to scuff up the edges here. I just have one of these little scuffers.
Could you move us down to the bottom of the screen?
Make sure you don't color over your line. Ideally, you don't want to scratch the seam part of the shoe. And I'm going to be using just some Aquilum water-based glue.
It's been moved.
And I will say a note to keep in mind when you're making your trim pattern. Don't draw your trim that comes down over a hole because you'll be punching in the middle of it, if that makes sense.
See you, William.
You ideally want to make it so you miss the hole with your stitching as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like you can see how his holes here don't fall on a stitch line or on the edge. So it's just a good thing to take note of.
I have had it where the pattern it shifts and moves a little bit because it's not a rigid product. So when you're putting your pattern on later to punch your holes, it may just end up landing on your stitching, and it's okay, but ideally don't do that.
My shirt fits very nicely.
Oh, you changed. Look at you go.
I did it behind my computer screen so you couldn't see.
Well, shoot, I'm not going to do that, but I'll go find a bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, that's good enough. I got glue, and I need to go get a paper.
It looks like an Aquilum bottle.
Yep.
There you go. So what made you get into leather crafting anyway?
How did I get into leather crafting?
Yep.
That's a good question. I have narrowed it down to my obsession with duct tape and Indiana Jones, if I'm going to be honest. Probably the leather part of it came from wanting to make a whip, and the duct tape part was just me browsing YouTube. Here we go. Browsing YouTube, and I'm just a makery kind of person. And duct tape just somehow transitioned into leather.
Nick, you bought a nice shirt.
Sweet.
I'm
really glad everything is fitting today.
I think that he listened when I said that I was a shirt snob about like what shirts I would get. That's what I'm going to say. Whether it's true or not.
He's going to take credit for your shirt choices.
Yeah, I'm humble like that.
I just bought it off my merch store.
Wow, great merch store.
So they're the ones that did a good job.
So what is your website if somebody sees this and they're like, I'd like him to make me a pair of shoes? Is that something that somebody could request, or what's your normal crafting gig? What's your normal making stuff?
I make pretty much whatever somebody wants me to within reason. Exclamation point. If somebody wants me to make them something, I can sure do that. Just message me on Instagram, or if you're in Discord, we can chat there.
Yeah, if you find us, if you go to our Discord channel, should be able to take you and get you connected with Chevy.
I'm being a lot neater than I was last night.
What's your Instagram?
It's just Kindvall Customs. And I have a link tree there in my bio. So you can find my merch store. I also post things on Ko-Fi, which is kind of like an Etsy, but they don't charge. So I use that. Just an easy way for me to upload stuff I make. And then I got the merch store. I got my Twitch channel where I occasionally do some live streaming.
Just every once in a while.
I mean, I know I'm a bad streamer. I like show up every once a month or once every couple of months. All right, so if you color over your lines with glue, it's okay. Just have one of these handy glue erasers and you'll be fine.
What's your favorite thing you've made?
That's a good question. I think, these shoes for one are up there. I think, gosh, it's probably my alligator holster. Here, let me show you this. We can pause the glue.
If you guys remember Chad that's here, you can see some of his art possibly behind you.
So,
oh, wow.
So this is...
If I could whistle, I would.
So I did this back 2018, 2019. I think it was 2019. This project has a lot of firsts for me. First time I've made a Western rig. First time I've just went all out with exotic leather. First project I sewed up on my Cobra.
First time you used the alligator bug. Oh, loops.
So do you use that thing, Chevy?
No.
No, we just look at it. All we do is look at it. What are the possibilities? This.
You should hit up Chris Andre with Slickballed and go meet him at one of his quick shooter events, because him and his wife travel the U.S. and they go do like quick draw competitions.
That is actually his pattern.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Rusty's peeking in the door here.
Hey, man.
Are you guys playing checkers?
Well, yeah, while Nick makes shoes.
Oh.
Say hi to Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Rusty.
He says hi.
Very nice shoes.
Yeah. On Friday, I'm going to sew up the other side of the shoes that he made for me and sent him. They have my name on them.
Of course they do. This is pretty.
Yeah, we did that.
Italian leather?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was trying to figure out something unique to do with it. I was like, let's click out squares.
Yeah, no, you got it.
In circles.
Mm-hmm. And then some Herman Oak bridle.
Of course. Nothing less.
Mm-mm. Nothing but the best.
Very cool. Well, carrying on.
Thank you.
Bye, Rusty.
Hi.
Brenda was asking a question, and I know that I can explain it, and I know that that Nick put something on our Discord to explain maybe a little bit more about if somebody that didn't know what Discord was, Brenda's asking for a friend. What is Discord?
So it's one of those things. It's hard to explain. Well, I gotta let that glue sit for just a second. So Discord, it's kind of like a chat room, hangout place. So you have like a leatherworking community. I'm over here now. That bugs me. So it's like a leatherworking community where it's our own private group that you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. You can post your work, ask questions, share stuff, share ideas. Discord also has a feature where you can stream your video, so you can be working with other people while they're working.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of. It's like our server where it's held for just another community type of website. So it's all of our stuff. It's basically all the things that you couldn't do, say, on Facebook and Twitter into one area. Where if you get any advertise, you can just go to ours. You don't have to join other people's Discords. You can just be on our Discord and find out all the stuff, SLC, people that use SLC, that like SLC. There's a lot of employees of ours that are on there. You can ask questions. There's tips and tricks. There was a question, I believe it was last night, about how much hand sewing thread do I need to go around a project. And so there was some advice given and some advice taken and almost got a little bit short, but enough to get it done. So it's kind of all of our stuff without all the extra nonsense and advertising that maybe you don't want to see on Facebook. It is more secure with your passwords and stuff that you're typing in and making sure that you're a real human so that other things don't get on there and start.
I'm saying, like, my husband uses it like a chat room while he's playing video games with his brother.
You can share, you can share pictures, you can share videos, you can have a voice channel, a video channel where I can set it up, and if people wanted you to use it to connect, they can all just go craft together, and you can see everybody's own stuff and talk with a whole community. And there's a fans of Denny There's a fans of Denny chat channel on there. You can be a fan of Denny Lowe on there. Works in progress, completed works.
Nick, are we ready to glue? Is it ready?
I think we can go.
Yeah.
Click the link, but it's expired. Perfect.
Yeah, you got to make sure you click the.
It was I had clicked the thing that said it's for forever, but let me go make a new one. Oh, you moved already.
So when I cut out this trim, I was mindful to make the inside cut really nice and straight and clean and not need any additional finishing. So just take that cut nice and slow, make it look nice. So then you can just very easily just place it on your line here and it should fit. I'm not pressing it down all the way yet, just in case I have to move.
Have you done any where you've tooled that section?
Not yet. I would like to. I got shout out. If you know leatherwork, you might know that beautiful man right there.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about him last week.
Yeah, that was who we talked about last week on the after party.
Actually, made a book for these leather sneakers, and it has some tooling patterns.
Wow.
And he's a wizard.
He kind of looks like a wizard too.
Literally. You guys need to go check out his Instagram. Not right now because I don't want to be made a fool of. Because his shoes that he makes make me look like an amateur.
I'm pretty sure at the Sheridan show that I went to several years ago, he had a pair of shoes there that were just spectacular. They were some of the coolest things I've ever seen.
You want to know how good he is? He took a pair of these sneakers, this kit, and made them into boots. Like, it wasn't even a pattern they offer. It was just boots. And he made like he put Vibram soles. Like he modified the bottom of this sole and put Vibram boot soles on them. So
Wow.
like those that's probably the most impressive piece of leatherwork I've ever seen. Like mind the tapping.
Oh, look at that. It went so much, and then it was like, oh, that's too noisy, so it clipped it out.
Got a little hammer time.
MC time. Let's
Nick,
see.
is that a book that you can buy?
I think it was Leathercrafter's Journal.
Okay.
Are they asking where to get that book?
Yes.
I got it at Maker's Leather Supply. They started carrying them. I'm not sure where else to get them.
Oh, is it a book? It's a book of his?
Yes, it is
Okay.
it has instructions in it too. So like
Yeah.
his
Cool.
construction method. And he does something kind of like this. His sneakers are fully lined. He goes into a lot of great detail on how to add like some piping to the edge to like make
Fancy.
it extra fancy. I am being kind of fancy, but pretty bare bones. All right, so we have trim glued on. Now we can work on rolling this edge over.
I'm not sure what Brenda's having problems with. The link that I sent works for me. Is anybody else having issues with it?
So pretty much all you need to do for this part to get it ready to roll the edge over nice is go along, and you don't have to mind the straight edges. Pretty much just where there is some curves. I do it all along this inner curve, but mainly here, and then this whole big section. I'm going to cut some reliefs. Just take little pizza slices out.
So while Nick does that, the Instagram page that you will look at after we're done here is for Jurgen is My Works with an X. So MYWORKX is the Instagram account for the guy we've been talking about.
So this is pretty much what you're doing. By the way, just cutting in some little pizza slices. Don't cut all the way to your blue leather here. You don't want to do that. That's the biggest thing to keep in mind. When you
So you
roll
have to
this
roll.
over, you don't want that cut to be seen on the edge. So you just want to, I go about 1/8 of an inch, maybe even a little bit more to be safe. But just keep a little room away from your main body leather, so you don't have that split on the fold. Ideally, and you ideally want to hide that with your lining.
Right.
So for the shoes, Chicago School it looks like they may be out. Aaron Heiser over at Maker's Leather Supply also carries them. And then the good old Tandy should have some.
Or I believe you can order them directly from the sneaker company.
But it will
coming
be
from Europe.
It will be coming from Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
So pick who you can trust to order from to not mess it up or not give you hassles to send it back. And hopefully we'll have them here, or I'll have some sort of news by Friday maybe. I don't know.
So basically, just make sure you cut in all your relief cuts, and then you'll get something that looks like that.
Well, you're quick at cutting.
The magic of TV. I had this prepared last night because you have to pay a little bit of attention to how you're cutting so you don't screw up.
He just pulled that out of the oven, guys. It was cooked right up.
So this is at the point where we can start gluing and rolling again. So we'll get the paper back over here.
Like 19 1/4 feet.
Perfect.
Ooh.
And we're gluing again.
Back to gluing.
So pretty much you just need to glue along the top of these little tabs here. And then it doesn't really matter how far you glue. You just want to make sure you get enough glue on there to stick it down. Because then we're going to put a liner over this. So if you color over the lines, it doesn't matter.
This is one section we can be a little messy.
I've been a little too messy on a lot of these sections, and the glue eraser is a godsend.
Hello from Springfield, Missouri, all the way to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Horses were a little spry this morning. Snow on the ground. You can keep it all you want, Crystal.
Chevy, I love how you use glue like Bob Ross uses paint.
Listen, I've put in my hours of watching Bob Ross on Twitch.
Really?
Yeah, you can watch him live. They just play it over and over.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Karen. Maker's Leather Supply. The owner's name is Aaron Heiser, but Maker's Leather Supply. Hopefully soon I can tell you SpringfieldLeather.com. But until then, we're also pretty good. If we don't have it, we'll let you know where you can get it.
Yeah, you know what? Come shop with us tomorrow. Buy some cool leather for your sneakers, and then
There
go
you
order
go.
your soles wherever it is that you need to order your soles. And then just come see us for your glue, your machines, and your leather.
We're using Aqualim 315 or Aquilum or any other way that you want to say.
However you want to put the emphasis on those syllables.
Yeah. It's made in Germany. Ordered right here from Springfield Leather. Not in Germany. I now want to make some shoes.
I know. I would love. I mean, shoes they just seem so complicated. And honestly, the sole I think is the most complicated part of the shoe, like putting the whole sole together. So like when Greg Carmack was here and he was talking about like building his boots, the uppers are really, it seems pretty straightforward. But man, that sole construction can really get you. So this is a great in between where you can still make a really cool shoe. People love sneakers. I mean, I'd much rather, I have a couple boots. I don't have any cowboy boots, but I probably would hardly wear cowboy boots. I'm going to wear the crap out of these sneakers if I can just keep them clean.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I wish I could wear my first pair that I made. They fit, but I have wide feet. So they don't sell these soles in wide sole feet configurations. So I'm going to try again and order a size up and see if that helps.
It's more comfortable.
Did you know you were picking out leather for your own shoes, Liz?
No. Tony kept it a really good secret, Chevy. You did a good job.
I
did.
made sure this is top secret.
Yeah. That's why it was in the Discord chat, because I know she's not on Discord, so she wouldn't be able to log into it. So that's why we communicated.
I mean, Chris does show me things every once in a while, but if he saw it, he would be like, "Okay, I'll keep that."
But it's a personal chat. He's pretty good too. He got to see them yesterday. He saw the picture.
Stinking Chris. I told him last night too. I was like, guess what tomorrow is? I was like, tomorrow having Chevy guy on, and I was like, he sent a box, and I was like, there's something in there. I was like, I don't know what it is yet. But I was getting excited. Man, he played that off good. There was nothing. I got nothing. He's good at secrets, though. He likes them.
If there's one thing that he's good at, it's showing no emotion.
Yeah, that's also true.
Me, on the other hand.
The Mr. Clean Magic Eraser is good for the white to keep it clean. Man, I searched. I was trying to find white leather to put with that, and then we ended up finding that hippo, and I was like, that's going to be perfect.
Yeah. We do also... Go ahead, Chevy. Oh, I was gonna say we have a like an Angelus product because Angelus is like a shoe company. That's what most of their product lines are made for. And so they also make like a keep it white kind of like sole refresher product that will help too if your soles have yellowed to freshen them back up.
So bright.
Yeah, so
yeah.
bright. Yeah. Here we go.
Think you need to try the shoe thing? The water-based Aqualim is odorless and safe to ship to California. You are exactly right.
So Chevy, you're putting down all your solid panels first.
Yeah, and it's that doing the straighter pieces makes it easier to just kind of work your curves around. So you can kind of see I'm just kind of easily just kind of working those down until they want to go. And just kind of start from the outside going in. And those relief cuts will allow you to have space.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Lack of the sew.
Look at those teeth.
Eagle talent, some might say.
So that hippo was kind of a pain in the butt to work with.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It for one, it's like painted. The surface is painted, so that kind of made it weird.
Yeah.
And then some of the parts were like super spongy and hairy. So be mindful when you're cutting out your shoe pieces. Some things may not skive correctly. Some things will just be very, very hard to work with.
They might stretch a lot.
Yeah.
Apply your thramming device. And I don't know if I'll have to do that on this shoe. On your shoe, Liz, I went back because that hippo was still a little too raised up on the edge here.
Mm-hmm.
The tabs were. So when you put a lining on, you'll see like a huge bump going on.
Okay. Did you skive down from the front?
I didn't, just to be safe, because we're working with exotic leather. What I did was after it was folded, I take my custom-made Hicks, Texas skiver. Shout out. And I just, if there's like any weird bumps or anything, I can just very carefully just go in and pare those down and blend it in. I have some pictures. I took some in progress shots. So I can post those in Discord if anybody is curious. This inner edge here is a lot easier to do because it's convex instead of concaved.
So they're spread out instead of...
Yeah, those little pizza slices spread out.
Sharon Pizza Room. Hey, thanks, Ron, for spelling that all out for us. Seesaw C says she has been been hunting for soles for moccasins. I think that's kind of everybody's thing, where they've been searching for soles for moccasins.
You can buy just like a thin Vibram sole, and I think we have some Vibram soles. Now, I don't think that we really advertise them. We have some customers that like come in on our retail floor that made like medieval reproduction shoes. They use some Vibram soles, and then we also have just like some thin, or you can use the Poundo crate.
Poundo board.
Yep, that we sell. That is actually shoe soling. So you could cut that. I think we click it.
Yeah, we do click it.
We sell that.
Yeah,
we
sell
it here. Just kidding.
We do sell those rubber soles. For it. It's from the Poundo board is actually from an Italian company that is for shoe soling.
Yeah. So we have some, and then you would just sew it, however, onto the moccasin leather that you're using.
Yeah.
And then trim it to shape if you need to. Man, your suppression is really good.
He's got a really good hammer quieter. Or maybe we just lost the sound altogether.
The video's coming through just good.
My noise suppression
There it
is
is.
called muting the mic.
Muting the mic. That's yeah.
And thus
Very
we
advanced.
just lost it altogether.
Yeah, when I mute the mic, I forget to unmute it.
I like the microphone I use because it's just got like a little touch button on the top.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
quickly just unmute and mute. All right. So that's where we're at right now. We've got pretty much everything ready to go for aligning. And then we can sew this bad boy together. But you can start to see it's like starting to look like a shoe now. And what's
Looks
this?
just like this.
This is I think the left. Yeah, it's the left.
Oh, we're starting with the left for lefty.
This is the
Yay.
part where I like to get the sole and start like placing it in there. And it's like, hey man, it's like a shoe now.
Gives you the feel goods in the middle of your project.
How
Yeah,
are the color?
I think
How was the
those
color
little,
choices?
pick-me-ups. All right, so let me grab a lining here. I think that'll work. So when you set your lining on here, you can kind of see like where there can be some bumps.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, if there's some really bad places, I can go in and touch it up a little bit.
So, are we a Vibram distributor?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how we got them.
Yeah, we've had him the whole time I was here. I sell him this one dude on retail. His name is Heath. He comes in and he buys like size 14 to 15 Vibram shoe soles, and then he cuts them into like crazy medieval shapes for like those long rounded toe thingies that like the jesters wore. I don't know. He makes some fun boots. And that's really the most that I've seen them used for, frankly. And that's I don't think we really have them on our website, do we? Vibram Soles. I think they're just like an in-house number. We'd have to look into that. Honestly, we don't get a lot of requests for soles. If we do, they're the moccasin, like the really low profile things that we click. And so I
We
don't
do
know.
the rubber ones, and then we also have leather,
Right.
the big sole.
Yeah.
Edge leathers.
So pretty much what I'm doing here is just skiving off those tips, and it'll blend it in.
Thanks, shoe tinker.
It's a little harder to do because there's like glue here. But just take your time and you'll be able to.
Don't cut through your shoe.
Or yourself.
I almost did that on one of your sides.
I
But
see.
you
Just
can
kind of
see
cutting the
it.
tips off there.
Just feather those tips.
So now when you like run your finger on it, just blends
Mm-hmm.
right in. I'll do a couple more of these.
That glue really sticks.
It does. And you'll have to come in here and pick those off. Just very small little slicing motions. Ideally don't overcut. All right. That looks good.
I see
And
white.
the main area you want to focus on is like kind of from your ankle bone to ankle bone. If you want to leave like the rest of like the lace area, it should be okay.
So you did hammer where you folded this over, right? Where you rolled it over. We did hammer it,
Yes.
but it just doesn't quite get all of the bumps out.
Yeah.
Just because it's just extra material there.
Yeah. You won't match the leather flat. Mainly that hammering sets the glue in, and kind of where these fold over, it'll just even everything out. But in getting these bumps out, you have to skive them. Almost there. Okay. All right. I say we're good to go.
Very nice.
So everything looks good. And if your corners look kind of bumpy, going around here, you can take your hammer and just kind of shape it a little. And I think we're ready to go. All right. Lining. Pretty straightforward. It's the other one. I just cut it a little bit oversized so we have room to trim. Make sure it fits on there before you start gluing. There's my, I get a bit of fresh brush.
Christina's leather is rating with a party of 30.
Wow.
We actually visited her.
Welcome.
We visited her this morning. She said, "Well, I'll probably raid you guys." So here we are, Christina. We're streaming, and yeah.
Making shoes.
Let me get some more glue on my fancy palette here. I'm gonna need more. I'm almost out. That's not good. All right.
You're almost out of glue.
I know.
Oh no.
I don't use very much water-based glue, but I've started using it a lot more, and I've been going through it.
I remember if I didn't see that it popped the thing up there. So we're Springfield Leather Company. If you don't know us, people that joined us in on Twitch, we're a leather supply company, and we're just co-streaming here with Chevy Guy 22. Always need blackout glue. Yeah, the other glue that was the old. Yes, Christina did raid. The glue that they put on the little video thing has to do with that was when Marcus. So I haven't seen Marcus in a while. Have you seen Marcus any from Germany?
I haven't.
I refuse to give you one of my pieces.
We're gonna get all jumbled up here since we're not taking jumps. It's the same Springfield on The Simpsons, but the leather don't glow in the dark. We are a Springfield. There was actually a vote.
Yeah, I think it was the Illinois.
I think that's the
Springfield, Illinois.
Springfield, Illinois won.
Yeah, they won. There's just like a Springfield in every state.
Pretty much.
Just like there's many cities of names in many states.
Many much names.
Many much names. I was really hoping that Nick would be closer to Omaha, but you're far away from Omaha.
Yeah, I am pretty much in Wyoming.
Well, I'm sorry that your broadcast just ended, but you're still doing leather work. We're just not Christina, or from Portugal. Can you leave the straight edges and make teeth on the curves to cut down on time, or does it have to be the teeth for the fold over?
If it works, some leather will behave differently than others. This elephant here is pretty firm, so those relief cuts help. But I mean, if you can fold it over, you can try a little test run without glue, and if it works, very good. If it doesn't, add more cuts.
Hey Justin, are you on Twitch? Can you post the Aqualem 315 on all the chatty chats?
So this is one where you can try to save time and be careful where you apply your glue. Don't run it over the top edge too bad. Make sure you get all the little nooks and crannies.
Oh.
That Bob Ross guy was onto something. I do this with my glue. It's like I'm not trying to be like Bob Ross, but it distributes the glue really well.
Yeah.
And I have both sides of the brush to use.
No, that's nice, especially when you're gluing like large sections like that. It looks like gets you nice even coverage, and you can go for a long ways without having to re-glue. Let's see here.
I never really use these big brushes either. I just recently got these, and it's a lifesaver. Well, I got the lining piece sticking to me. All right, we're almost there. So after we get this lining on, I always thought this was going to be a big headache, trimming the lining, but it's actually not. It's easier than said or done than said. All right. We'll let that one sit for just a second. And that should be all the gluing that we need to do. So after we get this stuck down, we're going to go ahead and sew along the trim on the inside and the outside. And then we'll trim the lining, install the eyelets, and that's your uppers.
So you put the eyelets in after you sew it all up?
You could do it before you sew, but it's just better to have everything finished. The last thing I do is go back in and punch all the holes after everything's been sewn. I need a hairdryer. Can I borrow yours?
Yeah, I don't think
here
it'll
you
work.
go.
I don't think it'll work very well, but I can certainly let you use it.
We'll turn it on for you. We can
Hear that
listen to
hairdryer
it.
ASMR. I'm ready to be done with this glue part because your hands just get covered and you stick to everything.
Right?
It's some good glue.
So I'll talk a little bit about how we're going to trim this. It's pretty straightforward. You got to be careful and take your time, but all you're going to do is take an edger and we'll have this flipped over, or you actually have it this side up, but the lining will be face side up. And then you'll just grab your extra trim that you left on here, and you'll just take your edger, butt it right up against the stitches, and go around the entire upper portion.
Like,
Then
I know
on the bottom,
that,
you trim it flush.
like, our little screen is tiny, but I was noticing that, Nick, on these shoes that you sent, like, you did such a good job getting that trim line right next to the stitch line. Look at that trim job. That's like a Greg Carmack trim job.
And that's the first time I ever did that. So,
Man, you got it. It was beautiful.
okay, I did a test piece before that, but that's it.
Well, and I'm sure that it helps, like, that's probably some sort of a goat that's like a pretty firm leather. And so, I mean, that makes a really big difference when you're trimming, is to have something that's not going to stretch all out on you.
Yeah. And when you're doing it, you'll see how I do it. It helps when you put tension on your extra tab, and then you're going along and pulling it.
Right.
And that extra tension just makes that cut go really smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest thing is just don't cut into your thread.
Right?
You want to cut right alongside it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stick this down.
Now you oversized your liner so that this part is easy. The lime should have been the outside color. The outside, this olive color that's on the outside is so nice. See your little toe print still there.
I actually got that green on live shopping,
Yeah, that's right.
and I haven't used it on anything yet. All right, more hammer time.
How are my color choices looking?
Is that navy nubuck?
Yeah, the SB foot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really nubuck, it's just that SB foot, the navy that was real smooth.
All right. So I'm just going to trim this flush on the bottom. Nothing to it. Just be careful.
What's your go-to when you do trimming like that? Just a little X-Acto knife?
Yep. I could do this with my custom-made Hicks, Texas.
Somebody's going to need to shout out to Hicks in just a minute.
But usually just a sharp blade is ideal so you don't slip.
And if it is a sharp blade, don't slip into your finger. Don't cut towards yourself.
At least if you're going to slip into my finger and not all the hard work that I've done.
Okay. No bleeding on the leather.
It's like, I'd rather cut myself than cut the leather.
I heal, the leather doesn't.
Nick, where did you get the lime color that you did for the interior of Liz's?
Say again?
On the inside, the lining of Liz's. Where did that come from?
Live shopping.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it looked familiar. It almost looked like some of that goat, the little remnant bags that we had.
Oh.
Of the stuff that looked like it would have been the Mad Dog.
Cadence, it is Chevy.
Wait a
You
minute.
should have
Sounds
put a little
like Chevy.
I guess I should have put something on there that we were featuring Chevy. Did you go again?
No.
Look at me with my professional 3-camera setup.
Whoa. We're going to
You're so
expect more out of
fancy.
your streaming now.
So basically, we're just going to sew this together. Nothing
Okay.
to it.
So all the way up at the edge and then all the way down where the exotic piece meets the navy piece.
Yeah, so I'll start with the outside and move into the inside going around. You'll just make a loop around the exotic piece. And Tony, I got you some navy blue thread. Is that okay?
That'll work out just peachy.
Didn't send me any sewing machine thread.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that. I didn't send you any. Okay, well, I can send you a different spool. I'll send you some navy.
That's a Tony fail. See, this is what happens when you don't involve Liz in your shenanigans. All the details don't get handled.
So your stitch width on the top, you don't want to be super right up on the edge, but you don't want to go like too far in. Keep in mind where your stitch is going to land on the back. That's where you're going to trim. So you want to kind of sink your lining leather back a little bit, just a hair, so it's not on the edge.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm just going to eyeball it. Here we go.
Looking like a class 26 here, maybe. Looking at the front.
Choice. Chunk, chunk, chunk.
How's your zoom on this 3-camera setup?
What's that?
I said, how's your zoom on this 3-camera setup?
Don't do that to me, Tony.
How about the audio? Why's the audio?
Listen, we're working on a budget here.
Yeah. You have 138 or 207?
This is 138. So as I'm going along, I'm just trying to keep an even distance from the presser foot to the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't give myself a guideline.
Do you have the edge roller guide?
I do.
Yeah.
But it's easier to do it this way because that I don't want that glue to hang up on the guide.
Yeah. Does the 26 have a way that you can raise it?
The foot?
Yeah. No, the guide.
Yeah, there's that little screw, just like the other ones.
Yeah. Tony's finally getting some of the critiquing the internet does with me. I was just being ornery. They can all be mad at me all the time for the mistakes that I made, but I promise you, you're not any more mad than I am at myself usually. Our screen may be over the top of the Wackatoni. So where's your shop located, if you want to say?
I'm in Scotts Bluff, Nebraska.
Okay.
Remember Wyoming?
Yeah. I'm just like 20, 30 minutes away.
So what's a fun thing to do in your area?
Leather work.
Well, like if you're gonna go to like a park or like take a
An
day trip
adventure.
somewhere.
Cornfield, maybe.
If you were going to take an adventure, where are you taking your ship?
Yeah, where do you go?
Somewhere else.
Scotts Bluff, not exciting.
I mean, the most exciting thing to look at around here is the monument, which the town is named after. It's our hill. People call it not a mountain.
That's what they
because we
call it,
don't
not a
have
mountain.
mountains, I guess. I will say when I'm doing the inside line, now I transitioned into putting the pressure foot right up against the edge of the trim. So it's a smaller gap.
And that's for the part that's meeting the Navy.
But there's not too many fun things to do around here. I mean, you can go to the lake, go for a walk, look at a cornfield. It's my favorite pastime.
I mentioned the corn.
Chimney Point is close. That's what Random Tinker or
Random, what's going on?
Abigail says pretty cornfields. Does your family grow corn?
Say that again?
Does your family grow corn? Are you cornfield people?
We grew some in our garden.
Grew some in the garden. Chimney Rock, is Chimney Rock close to there? Chimney Rock?
Yep.
I guess so. What's with the corn head? Oh, because you're
Nebraska.
Nebraska corn huskers. Never mind. You're really into that. My parents lived there for all of like 2 years until my mom was like, I don't do winters in Nebraska. I'm out. I'm done. And she came to Missouri, where it's still too cold for her, but she can survive.
Things to do in Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. Watch corn grow. Well, we're gonna get sewn around this. We're gonna talk. Oh, go ahead.
When you get to this point in the heel where there's a relief cut, you don't want to go too high with your stitching, or else that'll poke up to the top and you'll see it. So just a little note.
Turn that brightness down a little bit.
I see. So don't get too high so you don't go up above where the rubber covers.
Yep.
Rubber's got to cover.
You gotta cover with your rubber.
Tony, I don't like playing you at checkers.
Oh, was I supposed to let you win?
Yeah, of course. Duh.
How fun it is to be a child of mine. God, you can't beat me at checkers. You're only 7.
Whatever.
Up and around the other way.
Home stretch. It's good to take your time on this part because this is a very finished stitch. You want it to look good.
Yeah, so there's nothing covering this up, so making sure that you're... do you have any secrets for making that corner right there when you came around the corner?
Go slow.
Go slow.
And make sure when you're turning, you have the needle in the leather. But I mean, that's not a super hard corner to go. Just kind of chunk it out parts at a time.
It's a great thing having a servo motor.
Yep. And my first pair of shoes that I did, I completely hand sewed it together. Never again.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot of stitching.
So it is a checkerboard that's made out of leather. We did it on a live, and the pieces are actually leather as well. So it's Italian ghost veg that we had. We had the red and the black, and we clicked out the pieces, and they're glued in this inset to a piece of the backing.
Man,
So
if
that-
anybody, oh, go ahead, Chevy.
I was just gonna say that first pair that I made, I used hippo, and that was a nightmare to hand sew through because you can't find your holes that you made.
Oh,
So keep that in mind if you're using an exotic leather. Borrow your friend's sewing machine.
Borrow your friend's sewing machine.
I guess I'm just gonna run away from you for a while.
It's not going to be very long. You only got a couple spots you can go to.
I know, but if I go in here,
You use your rotisserie cutter for the pieces. Oh, rosette cutter. I got you. It helps if I can read the English words you put on there. Go to Robertson State Park in Nebraska. You ever been there?
I don't think I have been.
Will Fear says he's having the problem with black buffalo. It's hard to find the holes to sew.
Yeah,
All right,
this would be difficult as well because it's black and it's just those holes just disappear. So I'm gonna trim up my thread.
So do you think if you left some pieces a little bit longer and put some padding in there to make it kind of stand out and give it a little more character, would that be a good option to do?
Sure.
You probably haven't tried that yet, have you? Is this your fourth pair of shoes?
Yes. Yeah, so you could like kind of like how an Air Jordan is, like some padding along the top.
Yeah.
oh, but once again, you got to like that's where your eyelets go. So,
Well, if you do it across the back where the heel is, like right here,
oh yeah.
like right there.
And it
kept sending
wouldn't take very thick foam either.
Mm-hmm.
I was giving Chevy some other ideas, and he's like, "Hey, how about I already have the parts cut out?" And I was like, "Sounds perfect."
It's like, hey, how about you?
Want me to modify this whole thing?
Listen, Chevy. Sometimes you have to be like, okay, Tony, like
being
just,
ridiculous.
Just shush. We're already doing enough.
Enhance.
Oh, look at that! We're zooming in. We're zooming in, folks.
We're going in. All right.
So we'll get this trimmed, and then we'll probably call it there, and then we'll talk about the eyelet parts on the next time, and then stitch the bottom.
Yep. Pretty much, we're going to be ready to sew. So I like to on this part is peel back all the way you can to the thread, like. Really just mush it back.
All the way to that stitch line. Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna go here again.
Okay, well. You just keep going back and forth over there, and I'll get
Who's
another.
winning?
Or it's like a stalemate.
The stalemate means that Tony's winning.
Come back over here.
Okay. You fix me up over there.
Oh, I'm already in a corner. You just move some other pieces.
What kind of pieces do you want me to move?
Like this piece would be perfect.
hang on just a second. Let me get it set up so that I can move it and then jump you. Well, see, I don't need to move those because if you can't, once I jump this one, the game will be over because you can't move your other ones.
Yep, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm aware.
All right. There's our lining.
Okay. Are you going to show us your trim magic?
We're going to trim. So I'm just going to use, this is a number 4, one of your SLC bevelers.
The SLC Pro bevelers. SLC PB.
Don't do this with a dull. And just butt up right against the thread.
Yeehaw.
And those things are so sharp.
And keep, most important thing is when you're doing this, to keep tension on your little tag here and pull as you're cutting.
And the good thing with all that glue on there is it sticks right to your fingers, so you always have a good grip.
Right. Don't rush this part. You've come thus far.
Take your time.
And it helps to have a third arm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my custom leather weight made by Jack Frost.
Shouting out all his streamers right here.
Yep, I have a lot of custom leather tools made by other people that stream on Twitch. So I got to see pretty much everything being made right before my eyes.
She's stuck where she's at.
Yeah,
She's already.
Thank you, Crystal.
She's already kinged.
So this technique here is actually a thing they do on actual shoemaking.
Yep.
To put in a lining. So it's like you could call yourself almost a shoemaker doing this.
Yeah, I think you probably could. I think that would be justifiable. We're almost there.
As far as making a shoe, you know, this is like level 1 easy mode.
One move left, Elizabeth.
Just flip the board. Just do it.
I mean, if Tony would just move one of these people, then I could die. So.
Look, I left you alive. I just left it where you can't move. I didn't totally kill you. I just left it where you can't move.
I don't like to be tied up, Tony.
Oh. My mistake.
Oh, it's fun. I have not played checkers in a very, very, very long time.
When we made this board, it was the first time I had played a while when Denny and I played. We played that you didn't have to take the jumps, and then we played again that you did.
So when you're doing this goat is really like spongy and it's hard to bevel. So making sure to pull and keep tension on it is the key.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't help when it sticks to the table. I'm trying to do this without like blocking too much.
That's okay. You can. I know how hard it is. It's taken me, what, 2.5 years to finally get Denny tooling and not have him totally block it all the time. So we'll forgive you for this first one.
All right. Bellissimo. And what you can do here is there will be a little bit of residual glue. Just take your little eraser and just go along that edge.
Dandy glue eraser.
But let me unenhance.
Zooming out.
Maybe go one more in. All right. So there is your upper. Pretty simple. From here, I'm going to add in my stamp, and then on the other side, Tony's name or whatever he wants me to initial there. And real quick, we'll talk about punching holes. And we'll call it. So make sure you have the right side here. I didn't do too bad. This side looks pretty good. When you're adding in this trim and lining stuff, kind of warps and shifts, and it's not this perfect shape anymore. So the way I'm going to punch these holes is do the other side first, because then I can see the pattern, the holes on the pattern.
Okay.
You know? And then the key thing is to line the bottoms up with the shoe, with the bottom of the leather. And then this side won't be lined up here when this side is, because it just warped a little, and that's okay. You just want the holes to be correct on each side. So I'll go and punch this side, I'll line it up correctly, you know, punch this half, and then switch and punch this half when it's lined up. So then everything should be lined up okay, and it'll work. And then just punch out the size of hole that's on the pattern. Gosh, right.
Is it like a 30-second?
The one I'm gonna use is, you can use like a 2 millimeter or a 1.5. You know, you could go like with a 2, and it'll be plenty big. The holes I punched on your half are bigger than I've done before, and it worked out really well.
It made it easier to work with when you were sewing it up.
Yes. And quick about the eyelets, those you just punch out to whatever size fits your eyelet. Ideally, what you're supposed to use for this pattern is a 3/16 inch. And when you're buying eyelets, it didn't even dawn on me. So I use these 2-piece eyelets, or you call them grommets. So you'll have 2 pieces.
Yep.
The ones Tony first sent me, he got me eyelets, but they were the single piece that just
an eyelet.
Just an eyelet with no washer piece.
So you call these grommets on your website, but I just said eyelets, so it's okay. See,
Tomato.
C.S. Osborne is correcting me by calling them grommets. So grommets and washers. But I use 3/16 washers and grommets. Punch those holes too, and then don't forget to buy a setter for your eyelets. I didn't have one when I made my first pair, so I was like, well, shoot, now I can't finish. I went to Hobby Lobby, and they had one of these little tools, and it works really well. I'm able to just really squeeze babies
the
together.
biggest looking tool.
Yeah,
ever.
that is an intense plier.
Yeah. But it's basically just your setter with each side, and they like switch out for different sizes.
What are those little arms on the top and the bottom?
Is that if you want to punch holes?
This is like for paper, or like a crafter, because it was at Hobby Lobby, and it's like a measuring device, so you can set your depth, because it's also a hole punch. So if you look in the end there, that's like a little punch.
Oh, that is fancy.
So you can set your depth, punch your holes, and then set your eyelets.
So it punches hole and set the eyelets. When you're setting it, does it matter for inside for the washer or outside for the washer?
I put the washer on the inside.
Yeah.
If you're going to use the single piece that mushrooms out on the back, just make sure you go back on the inside and hammer those flat so it's
Yeah.
not sharp.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean,
Once again, if I could whistle. Thanks, Tony.
I didn't know she could.
I cannot. I've tried, and I haven't tried hard. I gave up.
so then I like to go back in, kind of set that in there.
Feel your
I
progress.
didn't really have to do anything to this toe piece. I just cut it out and then I beveled the top edge so it wasn't just a square edge. Do whatever you need to do to finish your edges, depending if you use veg tan or whatever. And then just, this pattern has holes on it too. Just punch out the toe holes and you're good to go start sewing after you put the eyelets in. So let me just do with that.
Well, we're going to do a couple holes here, and we're going to move over to our Twitch page and finish up a little bit of what we have going on here. But this purple gator goat, probably.
Yeah, I think it's actually veg tan.
I believe that
Looking
you're
at the
correct.
back of it.
About 7.5 feet. It would make a great shoe. Probably a little bit thin. That lining would have to be a little bit stiffer.
So just kind of roughly
Or use it as your accent piece.
placing everything in there. You
There
got,
she is.
got a little bit of a shoe going.
They're going to look like PF Flyers. After the party, it's the after party. So if you want to, join us back over there. We got our Kindvall Custom shirts on.
Got our Kindvall custom mugs. Working on some Kindvall custom shoes.
That's right.
It's a Chevy kind of day.
It
These
is.
are going to just increase in value now.
Right? They are. As soon as we get that
To
stamp.
charge for them now.
But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think this is maybe something we can continue to do. Have a crafter on every now and then, a customer. And probably when we do it, we'll hit phones on Do Not Disturb so they don't ring in here.
Hey, we made it through a whole 2 hours, so
Well,
I'm sure everybody's like, they've got to be done at this point.
Yeah. So we'll reach out to other people. So if you want to join us on the Discord, put some stuff on there. We'll see your work and we'll be like, hey, you're doing something that we haven't seen yet. We'll hit you up and see if you want to.
And then Nick will be back on Friday with us to finish it up. I guess I will be sewing along with him, so that's awesome. I'm super excited.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll be jumping over to Twitch for a couple minutes for a little bit of an after party. See you on Friday.